The void of space stretched endlessly, speckled with the cold glitter of distant stars. The flagship of the Zalari Armada, Oblivion's Fang, drifted menacingly above the orbital perimeter of Earth's newly colonized moon, Aegis III. Inside the command bridge, the Zalari general, Thryn, exuded a calm malice that few in the galaxy could rival. Her three eyes, shimmering with iridescent violet, scanned the human defenses below. "Report," she commanded, her voice rippling through the air like a whip. "Human resistance is minimal." "General," replied Lieutenant Kireth, a svelte creature with serpentine features. "Their orbital cannons are offline and surface fortifications have been neutralized. Submission is inevitable." Thryn's claws tapped rhythmically against her command console. "Good, prepare the landing parties. We shall establish our dominion within the hour." Far below, in a subterranean command hub carved beneath Aegis III's jagged surface, Captain Celine Armitage reviewed the incoming threat. She was human, yes, but unlike anything the Zalari had ever anticipated, Celine was not a soldier in the conventional sense. She was a tactician who had spent her life studying alien strategies and human improvisation, and she had one truth memorized better than any doctrine: humanity never submitted. Her first officer, Lieutenant Mara Chen, stood beside her. "Sir, the Zalari fleet is closing fast. Sensors indicate full deployment in 30 minutes. Selena's gaze hardened. "Then we give them a welcome they'll never forget." Outside, the Zalari began their descent. Ships that dwarfed Earth's largest battleships hummed with a deadly resonance, shields pulsing like distant suns. Soldiers, sleek and lethal, were loaded into transport pods designed to cut through atmosphere like knives. Thryn watched the countdown. "Humans will submit," she murmured, almost to herself. "Their defiance is irrelevant." Celine's fleet, however small in comparison, was already in motion. Orbital platforms blinked alive, unleashing coordinated strikes at key points in the descending Zalari pods. Explosions erupted, creating showers of plasma against the void. The first wave of Zalari transport pods vaporized before even touching the surface. "Impressive," Thryn hissed, her three eyes narrowing. "But they cannot hold us back forever." Celine, observing from a nearby tactical screen, tilted her head slightly. She didn't respond, she didn't have to. Every human under her command already knew what to do. They were the architects of their own legend. As the Zalari ground forces touched Aegis III, they were met not with submission, but with a storm of traps and ambushes. Explosive charge fields disguised as debris detonated in precise sequences. Automated turrets programmed with human intuition shredded advancing Zalari units before they could form ranks. One Zalari soldier, his armor scorched and his limbs immobilized by magnetic snares, staggered forward. We are the superior race. Humanity is inconsequential." A human sniper perched atop a jagged outcrop, rifle steady, whispered into her comms. "They said the same in 19 conflicts. They didn't last either." By the time Thryn herself descended to the battlefield in her personal assault craft, the landscape was unrecognizable. Smoke curled from cratered bunkers. Alien machinery lay in tangled heaps, and the human defenders moved with a precision that was terrifying in its unity. "General Thryn," Mara Chen's voice crackled over comms, though Celine had already intercepted it. "They've breached the perimeter." Thryn's claws flexed in frustration. "Send reinforcements." "Burn everything." Celine, eyes gleaming with determination, activated her secret weapon, the Aegis Protocol. Massive electromagnetic disruptors embedded in the terrain hummed to life, creating a wave that disabled Zalari shields and communication arrays. Pods that had survived orbital fire erupted in chaos as the soldiers within were thrown from their craft, disoriented and vulnerable. Then Celine made her move. Riding in a repurposed Zalari assault vehicle, she cut through the battlefield, her voice amplified across all frequencies. "Humans do not kneel," she declared, her words slicing through the chaos like a blade. Soldiers of every species froze momentarily, stunned by the audacity. "You came thinking us weak. You came thinking this world would bow. Kneel first and you will not survive." Thryn, hovering above in her craft, felt the words reverberate in her mind like an affront. She had never encountered a human with such blatant defiance. Every report she had ever received suggested humans were fragile, their victories few and accidental. Yet here was proof that perception was a lie. The battle erupted into a whirlwind of fury. Zalari units, trained in interstellar combat for centuries, found themselves outmaneuvered at every turn. Human squads employed strategies that combined guerrilla tactics, alien tech reverse engineering, and sheer instinctive ingenuity. Every time a Zalari tried to advance, the humans adapted faster than they could predict. Hours passed, though it felt like minutes to those fighting. By the time the dust settled, Aegis III was a testament to human resilience. Alien soldiers lay immobilized or captured. Their ships crashed and in flames. Thrin's fleet, scattered and demoralized, attempted retreat but found human orbital cannons reactivated and ready to engage. Celine stood at the command hub, surveying the aftermath. Her comms buzzed with relief and triumph from her team. She didn't smile. There was no time for celebration, but her eyes gleamed with quiet satisfaction. Finally, a transmission crackled through the silence. Thrin's voice, raw with disbelief. How can this be, humans? You were supposed to submit." Celine stepped forward, her voice calm but lethal. "We didn't come here to submit. We came here to show you what happens when you underestimate humanity. Now leave, or kneel, and lose everything you've brought to this world." The Zalari flagship disengaged, engines roaring to escape the gravity well. For the first time in centuries, Thrin faced retreat. The galaxy had long whispered tales of human fragility. That myth was now shattered. Celine watched the stars swallow the fleeing armada. "History will remember," she murmured to Mara, "that when they thought we would bend, we made them bow. In fear, not in submission." As the survivors of Aegis III regrouped, they knew the truth. Humans were not just another species to conquer. They were the storm that came from the smallest, most underestimated places, leaving legends in their wake. Across the galaxy, those who had doubted humanity would hear the story, and they would tremble. And somewhere in the darkness, beyond the reach of human eyes, other empires began to reconsider their assumptions. For humans, the galaxy was no longer a place to survive. It was a place to reign.